There was this young lady who had complicated her life by trying to fill her voids with all the wrong things in life. She had been raised in an environment that stole her true value instead of adding to it. As a result, she had become mentally damaged, emotionally paralyzed, and spiritually starved. She didn't look at herself through God's eyes, but through the treatment of those who had abused her, neglected her, and cheated her. Her self-image was distorted, but she was a fighter. Her lack of self-love derived from her lack of self-respect, and the lack of self-respect was the product of her not being valued in the intimate way God had created her to be. So she subjected herself to dysfunction as a normal functioning, and this complicated her life severely. She became her own abuser, continuing the destructive cycle she had gotten used to. Because of the loudness of her pain, she couldn't hear God's small, still voice within. She fought and she fought against herself for many years. And eventually the pain became so much of an overwhelming force that it made her realize that she was doing things to herself that she didn't have to do. Someone talked to her about God and God's presence in her and the power that she had, and she learned to forgive herself. And once she forgave herself, she began to peel the layers off that had confused her, that had identified her for so many years. And she broke those chains of bondage. And instead of being trampled on, instead of being laid against the ground of her lowest potential, she got her wings and they began to gain strength. And she began to flap them harder and harder and harder. And eventually she began to soar. Stop holding yourself back. Let your wings go. Release your greatness. Use your strength to build you instead of destroy you, and fly high with the wings of a queen.